Welcome, everyone. This is Roger Salam, Chairman and founder of the Winner's Circle, and this is my real estate program called The New Paradigm of Real Estate Investing Success, Unconventional Wisdom and Uncommon Strategies, and you're going to find out in a moment why I call it. And so what I'm going to do today is I have so much to share with so little time, so I'm going to go straight into my presentation, and then so you can help me. And just a little bit about my background, so that what gives me the right to be with you today. So if you, I'm going to, hopefully my creed will tell you a little bit about who I am as an individual, and I'll tell you a little bit about my professional background and my real estate investing experience, so you know where I'm coming from. My personal creed, every morning when I wake up, my personal creed is to build true confidence, through knowledge in the mind, honesty in the heart, and strength in the body, keep friendship with one another, and to build a strong and happy community. Never fight to achieve selfish ends, but to develop might for right. Grandmaster Jun Rhee, one of my mentors, gave me this creed back in 1991 when I first met him at the Mastery University, and back then it's called certification. And he gave me this creed. I fell in love with every word, and it has become a part and parcel of who I am. So every day I strive to live this creed. And whenever I'm with my students, I always share my creed. So if it resonates with you, feel free to adopt it. And my, I'm going to skip, these days, if you want to find out about me, you can just go Google my name and stuff. These days people do those kind of stuff. So feel free to Google me, and you can find all and everything you want to know about myself. So I'm going to skip so that I can go get more into the content. And my professional background, after literally getting out of UCLA, I went to, originally from Bangladesh, I came here to go to school to UCLA, and within a very short period of time, right after graduation, a couple of years, I bumped into Anthony Robbins. And I went to see his seminar, and I just fell in love with everything that I saw, what he was talking about. I said, my God, I want to master what he's teaching. I don't want to dabble in it. I want to master it. And I said, what better way to master than to go work for him? He'll make sure I live it. Otherwise, he's going to fire me. Simple as that. And so my motivation was never to make money, because it was I would have done it for free. And it was an all-commission position, and I ended up making the most money than anyone by a long shot, because my focus was never money. And it's funny that how that happens, that when you focus on service, money comes. Money is always a byproduct, and that's another topic for not today. So you'll see that this is literally, I used to be on the road 48 weeks out of the year traveling, and after 5 years of being on the road, I literally retired here in Tampa at the ripe old age of, I believe, 29. And that was my first retirement. That lasted 2 months. After 2 months, when all the waves looked the same, and people ask me, how did I end up choose Tampa? Because I used to travel everywhere. I said, it's very simple. Tampa was my last city, and I never got on a plane. That was, and I'm a warm weather boy. It was going to be Florida, Arizona, Texas, or California. So, and I love the water, so I'm on the water. And that's literally the picture that you see. That's my farewell party on the screen. And then a few years ago, I met up with Tony at another mastermind event where we were both attending, and I caught up with him. And our paths don't cross as much, but he's my incredible mentor. If you have never seen Tony Robbins live, you owe it to yourself once in your lifetime to see a master communicator live, period. And so that's where you'll hear my first love is not real estate. My first love is personal development. My second love is real estate. And my third love is entrepreneurship, almost in that order. And so that's why Tony, I couldn't have asked for a better sort of training ground than that prepared me for my life and all the adversity and everything that has happened. And the only reason I've been able to pick myself up is because of the training that I've gotten through this. And so how do you get the most out of this presentation, or any presentation for that matter? The first thing is stay present. And that's what I meant, that if you're at home, if you're in my seminar, it's a lot simpler. Say Dustin is sitting in front of me, he's taking notes, and please have something to write with. If you're at home, if need be, my door is closed. And I went outside before I started and told everybody not to make noise. This is important. You have taken the time, so please stay present, because you can be present physically, but mentally, if you're wandering somewhere else, if you're doing emails, then you're not here. But it is not possible for you to be here with me at a seminar or this the whole time. Your mind is going to wander. So how do you tame your wandering mind? Because right here, when you're listening to me in the middle of my presentation, you're going to remember all of a sudden, oh, I forgot to pick up the dry cleaning, or I forgot to call someone, or I forgot to do this. Or a new idea about will come to your mind just because the mind doesn't have a mind. It just reminds you of the most inappropriate things at the inappropriate time. It's like when you get back home, it reminds you, oh, you need flashlight. Why didn't you tell me I need flashlight when I was at the hardware store? You know. So what do is on that piece of paper, have a piece of paper, because what I believe is that if an idea is coming to your mind, whether it's simply reminding you something you forgot to call, I believe it's important. What you need to do is right at that point, because you know that if you don't write it down, you're going to forget it. So, but if you try to write it, remember it, and listen to me, you're going to miss both. There's an old cliche that the man who chases two rabbits catches how many? Neither. Catches neither. So the same thing. So what you do is you just, how to tame your wandering mind is have a piece of paper, and by the way, I do that myself. I have my piece of paper right here, and on my notepad, while I'm literally with you, it usually doesn't happen because I've trained myself, but even while I was meditating, people, that as a matter of fact, that's the worst. When I'm trying to meditate, that's when my mind is starting to wandering the most. So what I would do is I would actually have a piece of paper, and I would write down whatever idea came to me, whatever I forgot, called so-and-so. I would just write enough words to remind me, and then come right back to me. So if something happens to you, then just pick up that word, write that, and then come right back to me. And that's how you're going to tame your wandering mind. Be ready to learn and take notes and participate. I know you're at home, so if I ask you a question, raise your hand. I know no one can see, I can't see it. One of these days we will. So it's not for me, it's for you to stay alert with me so that our time together is most effective, both for you and me. And finally, have fun. I have a philosophy, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing it. And fortunately for me, that my Mondays are better than most people's Christmas. It's not, I look forward to my Mondays like people look forward to Christmas, kids look forward to Christmas. And I get the privilege of making a difference in someone's lives every single day. And that's my game. And one final request, if you want to get the most out of my presentation, turn off that little voice inside of your mind that says, I know. Because I know is the killer of learning. You've had this experience, I've had this experience, we all have had this experience that you read a book the second, third, 10th time, you listen to an audio program the second, third, fourth time, and you find something completely new that you missed the first 3 times. It happens to all of us. Why did we miss that first 3 times? In personal development, there's a saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Perhaps the first 3 times you were not ready to listen to that particular message. You listened to it 3 times, and because the 4th time, it's not that the information is new, you are new the 3rd time. You have a different perspective with new life experience, and you're looking through a different pair of glasses, and you derive new meaning from it. And it has impact. So even though if I'm telling you the same thing that you know, but if you don't turn off that I know, then you miss that whole experience of going deeper into the topic. So all professionals that are all successful people, they go back to the fundamentals over and over again because they derive more deeper meaning out of it. So here's my real definition of knowing. To know and not to do is not to know. It's a Zen proverb. To know and not to do is not to know. So even if you know it and you're not doing it, then you need to hear it again and again and again until you make it a part of who you are. So what you're about to discover today is you're about to discover how to play the game of real estate investing like the big boys do without spending like the hedge fund. Because you can't do it I know most of us on this call, we don't have millions of dollars to buy properties every single month, and no individual properties. Number two, investors. Number two, how can you buy properties at 30 to 70% below market month after month without investing one dime for marketing? Let me repeat that. Without investing one dime for marketing. All right. Third is how to avoid the two kisses of death in real estate investing. And depending on the time, I can share with you more or just cover one or two things. And when I go to a seminar, read a book, sometimes all I'm looking for is one idea. And sometimes not necessarily new. If it's reinforced that I'm on the right track, I just redouble my enthusiasm, redouble my effort, and just move forward with that. So in this short period of time, this is all I can promise you that we can share with you. So now, let's make it, and you'll notice, I like to number things. I like to break it down into simple things so that I can grab it and I can explain it. So the truth is, you want to become successful as a real estate investor. That's why you're listening to me. That's why you want to be an investor, because who wants to get in and not become successful? So let's break it down. What do you need to become successful as a real estate investor? Number one, you need a steady flow of deals. You cannot build a business by finding deal once in a while. That's not a business. That's, a blind squirrel will find an acorn once in a while. However, if you don't have steady flow of deals, you're out of business. So you need a steady flow of deals, and you must learn how to uncover these deals. By the way, as an investor, we're not referring to deals by calling your realtors or looking at the Craigslist or MLS listing in your marketplace, because that's not deals. Those are retail price houses. We're talking about houses that are below market. Are you with me? Because that's what we mean by deal. So number two, you need funding to acquire the deals. Number three, you need buyers for your deals. Because if you find it, you need to find buyers. And we're going to talk about which one is important, which one is not important, and in that reels. But number four, you need in this day and age, you need a technology platform to manage this sellers. Steady flow of deals means you have sellers, right? You need to learn. And you need the money to acquire the deals, some money, and then you need the buyers. And so we have the game of buyers and sellers, but you need also a technology platform to manage this process. Because without that, you'll never become successful, because the volume these days have become so much that you'll be so disorganized. Like I said, you'll make money once in a while, but not build a business. So you need a technology platform, and number five, you need the knowledge and wisdom. Because without knowledge and wisdom, you cannot put all of these things together. Does that make sense? So these are the very, at the very grassroots level, and each one of these has, of course, many layers to it, finding deals, and I'm going to cover do things. But if these are the things you need to become a successful investor, what is the biggest barrier to your success? What is the biggest barrier to your success? What would you say, Dustin? Because you're my only audience today live.
Biggest barrier. Not making offers.
Yes, so those are, by the way, he really identified just that. If you're my student, I will ask one statistic for your success. Mm-hmm. Forget about all the others. I'm going to ask you just one statistic, which you just hit on it, that how many offers did you make today? How many offers did you make a week, a month? So my students that are not successful, invariably, is they haven't made any offer. I promise you, I bought now thousands of homes. I've never bought a house without making an offer first.
It does make a big difference.
So make an offer. But that's not what I meant, because that's the mechanics of it. The biggest barrier to your success, because all of these other things that I shared, the deal flow, the funding, buyer for your deals, the technology platform, knowledge and wisdom, I already have it. I'm going to give. I mean, that's why you're here. I'm going to give it to you. Obviously, I cannot give it to you in 1 hour, but that's why you're here. That's given. And by the way, not just me. There are hundreds of people that can give it to you. Because you can go Google it. You can find it online. Anybody who's selling it, some information, and you'll get it for free. And by the way, one other thing that those of you listening, that I am not here. And I forgot to even tell you that I have nothing to sell you in terms of books and tapes. No, nothing. And because I want to give you, you stay on till the very end, and I'm going to share with you that how you can get all my information, because information wants to be free. Implementation costs money. But if you want information, I will give you, and if you're smart, you can take, there's a number of people who can take the information and implement it themselves. But those are few and far between. You need help with implementation, but if you need help implementation, that costs money, but information is free. I'm going to give you my courses, books, all of that for free, and just stay with me till the end. So this information, but the biggest barrier to your success is none of those. Biggest barrier to your success is one word. I do a whole seminar on that. I'm just giving you the answer to that. The biggest barrier to your belief, it may be hard for you to even, it's so simple. The biggest barrier to your success is your belief that it's possible.
Confidence didn't jump in my head.
Yes.
That's funny, because it did, but I didn't say it.
Yes, because you were not confident.
I question myself.
You question yourself. So your belief, in other words, I just picked that word, is your mindset. So I will give you that information, but your mindset is what will stop you. And the biggest mindset that will stop you is your belief. And right now, you just have to take me on the face value that this is the biggest barrier. And what is belief? And then that's my whole, as I said, my first love is personal development. I can just tell you that the biggest barrier, belief is nothing but a feeling of certainty. And you can underline the word certainty, because stronger the certainty is, stronger the belief is, the faster it's going to manifest. And that is what you need to bring to the table. And it's okay when you don't, if you're starting out, you're not going to have the belief. So that's when you rely on your mentor. Because you rely on their beliefs, your leader who's guiding you, because they have already gone to that path to go. So that's why, remember, personal real estate is easy. Real estate is easy because I promise you, I'm going to give you that in my program, that if you can start with absolutely no money, no credit. I don't care whether you just been pardoned from death row and with no relatives, nobody, no friends, nobody, and with no money. But if you give me the time and you have the right mindset, I can turn you into a champion. But you must have to, if you don't have money, you have to have time. If you don't have time or money, then I cannot help you. You have to have one or the other. And you want to, once you make money, you buy your time back. Because time is more valuable than money. So that's why I want to emphasize that, I really mean it when I say that real estate is easy, personal development is hard. Changing your mindset is hard. That's not every day. Because I'm going to give you the formula for buying the real estate. Because it's just as simple, it's a formula. And I'll give you a technology platform. And when I say I'm going to give it to you, I mean it. Give it to you with zero, zilch, no money. It is the most incredible platform that you've ever seen. But you have to have that mindset, the discipline to come and use it to make those offers. That requires a mindset. Because after you do the first deal, it's simply rinse and what? Repeat. It's rinse and repeat. I have nothing more to teach you. Because it's the same formula over and over and over again. Rinse and repeat. So biggest barrier to your success is your belief that it's possible. And so my mission, what is my mission? My mission is to help people achieve financial freedom and lead a purpose-driven, fulfilling, and happy life. That's my mission for my students. And as if you'll notice that my mission has 3 different parts to it. Number 1 is achieve financial freedom. Number 2, lead a purpose-driven life. And 3, live a fulfilling and happy life. I believe that there is no freedom without financial freedom. Unless you want to be a hermit, or you want to be a monk, and you want to go on the mountaintop, and you want to not live in society, yes, you have no need for. That's a different. Some people argue with me just for the sake of. Those are lazy arguments. That yes, of course you can use, but if you're going to live in this society, if you have children, if you have the desire, you have the responsibility to make sure your children has everything. So you need, and that's where financial freedom comes in. I don't have the time right now, but you understand what financial freedom is to you. But I'm going to give you that also. But if I stopped right there, because what I always say that my first love is not financial freedom. My first love is personal development, to self-actualize you as me as a human being. But if I very consciously chose the path of helping people with financial freedom. I could have chosen my mission to be, hey, help people self-actualize. What I find is that for most people, money gets in the way. And all else being equal, nothing will have a greater impact in your life than all of a sudden if you came across a large chunk of money. For the most people on this call and outside of this call that are my students, come to my seminars, is most of the problems that they have, money will solve the problem. Most of the problem. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
What I call is you and I have is a first world problem. Those are first. If money can solve a problem, it's a temporary inconvenience. It's not a real problem. There are problems that money cannot buy. Those are not the time. So if I stopped right there, my goal is to achieve your financial freedom, I believe I'll be doing you a disservice. Because why take everyone to the riches when the rich themselves are miserable? Because you and I know plenty of rich people, plenty of people that are making money, that are miserable people. They're not the nicest people, that I don't want to associate with them. And some of the nicest people I meet, they don't have money. They're caring, incredible. So I want to help these people get over there, but I don't want them to become those mean people either. But I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be miserable. If you follow my number 2 and number 3, you must lead a purpose-driven life. And number 3, live a fulfilling and happy life. By the way, both of those are studied. It's not going to, just because you have money, it's not going to come. You make those a study. So today, it's not about those two. It's about creating financial freedom. And I'm going to tell you why, very consciously, I could have chosen many things, why I chose real estate as that vehicle to create that financial freedom. And so with that, why real estate is the ideal business. I call real estate the ideal business, and ideal is an acronym, IDEAL. And the I stands for income. Real estate can give you cash and cash flow. Both of them. Cash meaning can give you lump sum cash and can create passive residual income. D is for depreciation. You get tax credit against earned income. No other business gives you that. It's like the government gives you money back for owning your inventory. What a great business. Number 3, E is for equity buildup. And the equity buildup comes from the differences that if you buy a house for $100,000, let's say that you financed it, you put $10,000 down, you finance $90,000, and nobody, not you, not me, nobody has a crystal ball what the value of that property is going to be 5 or 10 years from now, right? But one thing is a mathematical certainty is that that mortgage of 90,000, 5 years, 10 years from now is going to be not 90,000. It's going to go down. So if 10 years from now, that $100,000 property is still 100,000, it hasn't gone up by 1 penny. But one thing is certainty, that 90,000 perhaps will go down to, 70,000, go down to 50,000. So when it goes down, all of a sudden, the difference between, before it was, you had $10,000 equity when you bought because that's what you put down. But that was your own money. But now you have extra, if it's 50, you have extra $40,000. That's your equity buildup. And who's helping you to build that equity? Are you paying that mortgage every month if it's an investment property? No. Your tenant is doing that. Someone is going to work every day to build your asset without the property going up. So IDE, A stands for appreciation. Appreciation is what goes up over time. And by the way, appreciation is how you become wealthy in real estate. You will never become wealthy through buying and selling. Buying and selling is another job. Buying and holding is how you become wealthy. And L stands for leverage. This is the most leveraged business that you have on this planet that I know of. And you can, with very little money, you can control not hundreds, millions of dollars worth of property with this. And Dustin just flew in from Salt Lake. I bought this house in 2006, 07, and with no money, no credit. So just as a challenge to my students, and he can tell it's a fairly not a bad place, right? it's on the water. At the time it was $2.7 million house on the water, beautiful. But I bought it with no money, no credit to prove my point of leverage. And not just you can buy those low-income housing, you can also buy big houses, because do rich people get in trouble? Not only do they get in trouble, their troubles have more zeros in them. Yeah. Yes. So real estate is the most ideal business because ideal is an acronym. And another reason I call real estate the most ideal business is because anyone can do it. You don't need any kind of special education, background, race, religion, creed, sex. As I said, that you can be on a death row. I can take you, and it is so simple. Everybody understands a house. They've lived in a house all their life, so it's nothing that they haven't touched, feel, and something. If it's a rental property, they've seen it. So now it's easy for them. It's ideal because anyone can do it. Number two, it's ideal because you can do part or full-time. But if you have a job right now, that you don't have to give up your job. As a matter of fact, that would be foolish for you, because you have a responsibility to your family, to yourself, and not to be foolish that you go without any plan. I have done it. That's a different philosophy. That's not what I recommend because of my risk tolerance is different than most average person. That you can go without a safety net. You can go burn the bridge behind, literally burn the bridge behind you so you cannot go back. The only way is go forward. There's some virtue in it also, but you don't have to. There are other ways to do this. You can do part or full-time, but I have a warning for you. The warning is this. You can build this business working part-time, but not sometimes. You can build this business, you can make more money working part-time than some people working full-time because they're confusing activity with productivity. They're so busy, like you asked one time, your first question, they're so busy full-time looking at houses, doing this, I said, how many offers did you make? They go, oh, I've been busy. I said, no, how many offers did you make? And so don't confuse activity with productivity. So you can do this. So if you want to, and by the way, and because of time, all the things that I mentioned to you, ideal business, I'm going to prove it to you. I don't have time. When I do my 2-day seminars, I actually take you through, but here, how It's in reality that I have done it, that my students have done it over and over again, and many people on the call, you have done it. So if you want to create, our goal is not real estate. Real estate is a vehicle. Our goal is to create financial freedom. That's our ultimate goal. We're using real estate as a vehicle. And there's two paths to create financial freedom through real estate investing. And because these two paths, one is do it yourself. Learn how to do real estate investing and do it yourself. And that's how I did. And number two is done for you. Invest in turnkey investment opportunities where everything is done for you. So you don't have to learn, understand electricity. You and I can just flick the switch and enjoy the benefits of electricity. You know, we don't have to go to school, no nothing, we just pay. Somebody comes and puts the wiring and everything else. We just want to enjoy the benefits of electricity. So you want to enjoy the benefit of real estate. And you can be a doctor, attorney, you can be a school teacher. You love what you're doing. You're an entrepreneur, you have your business, and you have no time to do this. But you must have a portfolio of real estate, because 7 out of 10 millionaires in this country made their millions through what? Real estate. Right there's a clue that 7 out of 10 millionaires and the other 3 who became millionaires through other means bought real estate with their money afterwards to hold on to their wealth. So pretty much 100%, there's no rich person on this planet that does not own real estate.
There's not even a poor person who homeless.
There's no poor person. Exactly.
Whether you're a venture buyer or you're in real estate.
So the do-it-yourself and done for you. Now, either way, we can help you. And you're going to find out how. And so here are the 5 fundamental F's of real estate investing. These are the 5 fundamentals that anything you want to talk about real estate will fall into one of these 5 categories. Anything. And here are the 5 fundamentals. First one is find it. Number 2 is fund it. Number 3 is fix it. Number 4 is flip it, as in buy and fix it and sell it. Or number 5, flow it, as in cash flow it, as in buy and hold it for long term. So find, fund, fix, flip, or flow. Right? I was trying to rhyme it with F. That's the best I can do. So if you can find something better, please email me. Okay, let me know. Until then, that's the best I can do. So the question I have for you is this. I gave you the 5 fundamental F's of real estate investing: find, fund, fix, flip, and flow. Which one is the hardest of the 5 things that I just mentioned? Find, fund, fix, flip, or flow?
I would say flow it, because if you're not doing the other 4 F's, then you're never going to get to the flow.
Yeah, so which
Because every single one of them is possible and easy if you know what you're doing.
Okay. Of the 5, they're not equal. They're not equal. Which one is the hardest? So you said the number 5.
Number 5.
Or no? Is that your final answer?
No, it is not my final
It's not his final answer.
I'd say find it. Because you don't want to...
Spoken like a true investor. Because here's the thing. If you don't find a deal, do you have a need for the money? Do you have a need for fixing it?
No.
Do you have a need for... Nothing happens until you what? Find a deal. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the holy grail of real estate investing. Finding it. Finding it. So, because we're not talking about finding from your local newspaper or from the MLS. That's a needle in a haystack. That's a needle in a haystack, or worse. You know. So, if you know how to find a deal, because the biggest, by the way, if you take this quiz to an average person, the most important, the most common answer I get is number 2, which is fund it. Because they know that, hey, they said, hey, they don't have money. Because it costs money to buy real estate, even if the low-income housing costs tens of thousands of dollars. It's not like going to the corner grocery store and buying a gallon of milk, you know. You still need 5,000, 10,000, that's still thousands of dollars, not even hundreds. So they think, I don't have the money, so they never even try. The secret is here. If you know how to find it, you can skip all those. You don't even need to do any of those others. You find, and then you flip, and then you get money. You find and you flip. You can get money. Without any of your money credit, right there, I just gave you the formula for why people just don't believe it. How can you do it with no money, no credit? I just gave you the answer. The fundamental answer to this: you find it, put it under contract, and then you sell the contract, not the house, and you just mark up for doing that. So anything you want to talk about will fall. So the most important is find it. So let's talk about today, because I don't have. Others are important. Don't get me wrong. It's not that without those, you cannot do the full transaction. The real benefit of real estate is flowing it all the way through process of buying and holding it. So you can find deals through the traditional marketing versus relationship marketing. And I can show you, that's what I used to do, because now when I realized the Holy Grail is finding it, is to all the different ways of marketing to find a deal. The guerrilla marketing, because from no money, finding deals with no money, finding deals with little money, and then finding deals with a lot of money. Like you can do advertising. I had my infomercials. So on television ad, mass media, that's the most expensive. You can go billboard, that's mass media versus bandit sign. It's good, it's little money. So all of those different ways I can make money. And I've been doing real estate. I bought my first house in 1999. In 1999, I bought my first house, and when we have time, I'll tell you in my seminar. I go into detail on how I got started. But because of time, know that me and my partner own over 500 houses in this 5-county of Tampa Bay area, and right now, this is my second go around in real estate. This time, when I got in, I said my mantra is go big or go home. Now, by some people's definition, yes, I was big even prior. I was buying 10 to 15 houses a month. And I said, no. In order to find, if you're going to go big, there's only one place where they have, by definition, that all of them are deals. And that is what I call is finding deals on demand and in volume. So you can find deals on demand through traditional marketing or guerrilla marketing, but that's not going to be hundreds of deals. That's going to be tens of deals, unless you're spending millions in advertising, which is impractical for the most people. Okay, so you can cover the airwaves with your infomercial, and then you'll be spending millions, but that's not your 1.0001% perhaps can do it. So where can you find deals on demand and in volume? There's only one place, which is the bank REO. And because bank REO stands for real estate owned. When a bank forecloses a property, I'm not talking about pre-foreclosure, and there's all kinds of, that's another strategy also for buying houses before it's foreclosed. But when the bank forecloses the property, they take it back and becomes their inventory. When it goes into their inventory, that's called REO. But bank is not in the business of real estate, because that's a non-performing asset for them, and they want to sell it. Of course, they took back hundreds, not tens, hundreds of thousands of homes. And during foreclosure, during the real estate bust, that they're now releasing it on a time release. And I tried to get into the game during the peak days. This is a minefield full of, landmines, and mostly what I call it's a daisy chain with middleman. You never know. You can never get to the source because most people don't know. All these banks, those banks that have taken thousands of properties, are they interested in selling onesies and twosies? They're not, because it's not worth their time. Yes, there's some laws in there, so they turn around and give some REO realtors, they give them to list those houses and stuff, and those realtors are banging their head against the wall because they can't communicate with the bank, all that stuff. So my good fortune came because on this search is I gave up, but I found in 2014, I found, and after a long search, long story short, someone who lives right here, 15 minutes from here in Tampa, that he's been buying bank REO direct from the bank since 2006. And so I met up with him and I said, hey, every single month, on the first of the month, the bank emails him a list of, not 10, I'm talking about 500,000, 2,000 houses every single month. Every the house on this list is a deal, but majority are steal because the bank does not want to sell these houses. They want to liquidate these houses. So it's like if you've seen, you're driving in your city, have you seen that the furniture store says liquidation sale? Or that's very different than a regular, even annual sale. That's not a sale. Liquidation is just take it for the price of moving it. Because they don't want to even move it because that's what they want to, when it comes going out of business sale, that's a liquidation sale. And so here, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna get out of my PowerPoint so that you see for real. This is the list. Obviously you're seeing my screen for the month of November. November 1st, this list came. And this list, if I'm scrolling down, just look at, I'm holding it down, you can see it's going and 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 still going. So there's hundreds and hundreds of houses on this list. And so if I go all this now, scroll all the way down, this month in November, there is 515, I'm going to make it bigger so that you can see my screen better. So there's 514 houses because row 1 was the header. Because it's an Excel spreadsheet, so the first row was a header, so you just deduct 1 and you get the real count. And my specialty are the low-income housing. I buy these houses that are 50,000 and under. And if you look at it in this, why I'm so excited, why this is, so I'm going to just sort this with a price, smallest to the largest, okay? If I do that, ladies and gentlemen, there's a house in here for how much? So how much is this list price? It's not a typo.
3,900.
No. What's the one above it?
Oh wow, $340.
Yes.
Oh.
for a house in Shaker Heights, Ohio. Now it's a lot, but do you care if you can buy a lot for $340? If there's a tree that you can put an oak tree or some kind of a tree that sell that tree for firewood and you can make that money back. Huh?
Yeah.
So if you cannot make money, and then if you go down, there's 3,900, 4,000. So if I just go down, that means literally there's 30 houses in here less than $10,000. 30 houses just on this. And if you go, now you're going to go less than $20,000 for over 100 houses, less than $20,000. But here's the beauty of it. Why am I so excited and why do you need me? Is this, that this list price So when the bank sends us, all they give us is a loan number, which doesn't mean anything to you and me. It's for their control reason. And all they give me is an address, and they tell us if it's a lot or a house, and they give us a logbox code, and they give us a list price. List price is the lowest advertised price that they have on their, most of these are on their auction site in Hubzu. By the way, this list comes from Ocwen. Those of you are know real estate, you know that Ocwen is the largest, they're not a bank, they're a loan servicer. And they service all the big boys. And so they aggregate this list every month and they send us, because these are the houses they want to liquidate that month. What we do, because we have to bid on all of these houses. So right here on column K, we write down for that 340, how much do you want to bid? That 3,900, how much do you want to bid on that house? What we do is they give us basically 7 days to bid on this. So in 7 days, there's no way humanly possible to check 1,000 houses or 500 houses. And you can check 50 houses, but not, and by the way, these are scattered all over the country. So if all of them were in one city, one place, that's a different story. They're scattered in all, all different states. So it's not even practical. So we have to buy it blind. So we make a bid on these things and we bid 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% below this list price. And by the way, these are not the values. These are the lowest price on the bidding side, because on a bidding side, auction side, they put a starting bid price. That's not the value. That's not what they are asking for. There is what we call a reserve, but they don't tell us, you and me, what the reserve is. When you and I, people go to the bid and they start bidding it up, and they bid it way up higher than, that's how people end up paying more than it's worth, because they get just get carried on by the bidding war. And so the lowest price, and if you can buy it at the starting bid price, it's already a pretty good deal, because they put the starting bid price low so that you and I will get our greed glands to swell. So we go, oh my God, look at the starting bid price. And if no one else bids, maybe no, they have a minimum reserve, they have the right not to sell it if it doesn't reach the minimum reserve. And so we don't know what that is. So we know from historical, it's a moving target. It's never, but we have some experience, and I'll teach you how to do that. So you bid up. You can go to Hubzu. Let me make one thing clear, is that this list, the day the bank foreclosed, they've been trying to sell it, but they're not in the business of selling this. So they have not been successful in selling it. They've been sitting, this house has been sitting there for years and years and years, boarded up, vacant. So now they want to sell it in mass. So they want to sell it in bulk. And so that's why we get the kind of discount, because we have the buying power of buying this at a bulk. You and me, if we were, my students, if they want to buy one house or even 10 houses, will the bank even give them the time of the day? No. You won't even know who to talk to. You can go to the auction site and bid, but you cannot bid. The computer will not accept anything lower than the minimum bid. Because there's no human interaction. Some kid in India perhaps is monitoring the site, and they're just doing technical stuff. So you cannot buy it below the minimum. Here, every month, they take a portion of those houses that they want to liquidate, because we're dealing with a human. So they see my offer and they accept it or not accept it. So now I'm telling you all these things. So what does it WOOP to do? Because I started this program saying that, hey, how can you buy like a hedge fund without spending like a hedge fund, right? So what I have done is I have created a private bidding platform where you can bid on this one house, because you're not going to bid on 10 or 20 or 30 houses. Chances are you're going to bid 1 or 2 houses, maybe 5 or 6 houses. That's a big investor if you're bidding on 10 houses a month. So then when you buy that one bid on one house, my promise to you is this, is that if you place a bid on any of this, then I take my bid out and put yours in. Because I don't want to compete with you, because I know what your bid is. If I want it, I can put $1 more and I can win it. So, and I send you the same list that the bank sends me. I'm transparent. There's zero markup. So then the question is, how do I make money, right? Because I'm not in the business for my health. So what I do is that when you place that bid on that property, now I'm buying it blind, but I don't want my students to buy it blind because there's a lockbox code. And even if there's not a lockbox, you can do a drive-by. These houses are vacant. Go through the back door, front door, side door, looking through the window. You can pretty much tell, so what the house needs. So the lockbox, go inside and do your due diligence, and then you decide how much you want to pay for this house. So you put a bid, and here's the thing. When you're successful, when the bank accepts that bid, the bank thinks it's me bidding it. So, because do they want to deal with 1,000 people? No. How many people they want to deal with? That one. So, but I am dealing with 1,000 people. And 1,000 is a metaphor. I'm dealing with a handful of 100 people. So when you bid and you win, we charge a $2,500 flat fee buyer's premium. For crying out loud, that's not even a decent real estate commission. So it's transparent like that, so that most of the investors, they absolutely love it because it's very fair. And because I'm not getting rich on one transaction. I have to sell many more, so I must service you this month for you if you want to buy another one next month or next year. So it has to, I'm not a transaction guy, I'm a relationship guy, almost by design. And I have no vested interest in trying to get you to bid more. Because if you bid a bigger price house, do I make any more money if you bid more? Because mine is a flat fee, right? So whether you buy a $100,000 house or you buy that $3,900 house, my buyer's premium is the same. The flat fee, $2,500. So when you place the bid, you factor in the 25 into your buying price, so that you take that into consideration and you factor that in. Simple as that. So you decide what you want to do, and obviously I train you on how to place them, how to do the due diligence and stuff. And we have a technology platform that you can use to do all that stuff. So I'm going to give you. But the holy grail is every single month, if you could get this list, and there are houses, lots, by the hundreds. There's a saying I have that live where you want to live, but invest where it makes sense, right? So if there's not a house in your backyard for $3,900, go invest in the $3,900 where there is a deal, right? So if you find, and I teach you the system on how can you do due diligence, how can you see the houses that's in Florida and you live in Utah, or vice versa. I live in Florida, that I want to buy a house in Utah, because that's on the list this month. I can do due diligence. So we'll show you. But if you're in real estate investing, maybe you're already a wholesaler. You already know. I don't have to teach you anything. You just go look at the house, kick the tires, and you decide. And you can pretty much, you can look at 10 houses easily in 1 week. There's not you can look at 15, 20 houses, and then decide which one you actually want. Maybe you look at 15 and you only bid on 2, the best of the lot that you want. And by the way, this is not a lowball game, meaning that this is not a back and forth. It's a highest and best offer. So greedy people don't get it. Let's say that for $340. Don't try to lowball at $340. Give them $500. And call it a day. At $3,900, don't go 70% off of $3,900. Live and let live. Good enough is good enough. Find out what the house is worth. Find out because you can find that out in 2 seconds. You can be in China. This whole thing, you can do it from anywhere. So that's the beauty of it. So you imagine, all the gurus, we teach people spend thousands of dollars every single month to find a motivated seller. Because that's all, because without a motivated seller, you cannot find a deal, right? So here is the biggest motivated seller. Every one of them is a deal, by definition. And we are creating a steal out of this. So what would you do to your real estate investing business if you could get your hands on this list every single month?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness,
So that is the holy grail. And I've created a private bidding platform that you can be the business like a hedge fund without spending like a hedge fund, just one house at a time. And by the way, the average house here is $150,000, but very few people can invest in a $150,000 house. But not very. A lot more can invest on a $50,000 house than a $150,000 house. More people have money in their IRA for the $25,000 and $50,000, and this is for long term. Buy it and forget it. For doing that for your children, for your retirement and stuff. So now I'm going back. So just to give you, and by the way, this list comes every single month. End of story. So I'm finding deals on demand to Bank REO list. So I'm going to, because of time, I think that's pretty awesome for now. So how do you join my Bank REO program? Very, very simple. I'll send this to you. You can get this exclusive bid offer Bank REO list for every month for 12 months. And just, you get to go if you want to get in. And only thing is that I don't want to deal with tire kickers. Because I'm not making $25,000 a deal to schmooze you. And no, if you're serious, if you, in the next 12 months, not one, if you cannot make money from this, something is wrong. You're just not serious. So remember I said that the biggest barrier to your success is not the list or the other things. Because even if you don't have any money, could you find a partner for $340 who can fund your deal? Could you find a $10,000? We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking about $30,000, $40,000, $20,000, $10,000. If you go to your REIA group and say, hey, I've got a house under contract for $10,000. I'm looking for a partner who can fund the deal, and I'll do all the work, and we'll split the profit 50-50. Is that a fair offer? Because 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So start. If that's where you are, start with no money. So, but that's why for you to become successful, in addition to the list, what I'm going to give you is my 8-module Success Acceleration online course. This is what I call success acceleration through inevitability thinking, not just positive thinking. Inevitability thinking is the most cutting edge in personal development arena. Because if positive thinking was enough, you'd already have it. Positive thinking is not enough. Inevitability thinking is exactly what it says. Inevitability is how can you, whatever it is that you want, how can you make it inevitable? That it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to get it. It's just, it's a done deal. It's inevitable. That's inevitability thinking, not positive thinking. Because how it happens, you set up conditions along the way that it happens. You put yourself. So what I have done is, I did this course not for you or not for my students. I did it for myself. Because when I got back, I said, it's my second time going around. And I said, hey, I was out of the game. I said, you know what? I looked at my life. I said, what are the most important, all the things, because I'm a personal development junkie. I'm a seminar junkie. I go to seminars everywhere. I go to Seminars Anonymous. All the things I've learned, what are the things that have made the greatest impact? So I've created 8 modules online, and I recorded them, and I have the video, I have the audio, I have the transcribed, the whole all thing. Because different people have different modules, but you have access to all of them. And so, for example, the power of questions. It's one of my favorite. That absolutely to transform your destiny. That questions are more important than answers. So every module is online, and I'm going to give you this. This is a program, I sell it for $1,000, $997. I'm going to give it to you so that you get your mindset right before you get access to my list. One more thing I want to give you. I will also going to give you access, admission to my Success Acceleration live seminar for real estate investors. And the reason I call it Success Acceleration is I don't have the audacity to tell you that, hey, you need me. You know, you have come this far in life without me, and chances are you can go without me. You can become successful. I believe that. But I promise you is that whatever is it that you want, I can help you accelerate it. Because show me one person who wants to get rich slow. Huh? Show me one person who wants to get their dream home slow. Whatever is it that you want your dream car slow, we want it as fast as we can. I can help you accelerate it. That's what I mean by Success Acceleration program. And it's my 2-day seminar. I sell it for $1,000. And the next one is coming up in Tampa on November 18th and 19th. But this is the last real estate seminar that I'm doing. In December, I do a different program. I take about 100 people on my this is my 9th annual mastermind cruise that I take about 100 thought leaders to focus on 2017 planning and investment. That's it. So basically my year is over after this. So if you want to set up your 2017 and in your real estate game, please do not miss. Fly from all over. Come to this program. We start on the 18th is a Friday, 19th is a Saturday. Friday at 2 p.m. we start, so that if people are flying in, they can come in the morning and only have hotel one night. And then if you're driving from elsewhere, you can come in also. And so go 18th and 19th. You're going to get this for free also. So in addition to that, you will also get a one-on-one strategy session with one of my mentors, coaches, because one size does not fit all. Every person that I meet, they have their personal situation different from the next person. As I say, that if you have no money, no credit, I can get you started right there. But if you have some money, some credit, I can get you started. If you have no money but great credit, I can get you started. If you have lots of money and good credit, I can turbocharge it. That's the difference, is that yes, you can facilitate a lot faster for doing that. So different people to give you a strategy session and also give you for free. One more addition, that when I give you a ticket to my live event, you can also get an extra ticket for your spouse or your partner. Because I believe that if your spouse does not understand that why you're doing what you're doing at home, you will not have the camaraderie, the resonance. It will not resonate with him or her if one of them is coming here. If you're not growing together, you're going to grow apart. If you don't have, the biggest support you need is at home, not outside. Because that's the biggest challenge most of us face at home. And especially if you have gone to other programs and stuff and you haven't produced results, now she's skeptical, now he's skeptical. So I totally understand that, so I give it to you that also. But here's the summary. You get my program. If I were to add up all of these things that I'm giving, it's over $5,000. And I told you that I'm going to give you all of these things just one time, not for money, a $997 deposit. Because that deposit is there so that it shows that you're serious. Because that's all I want, is a serious investor that's not going to waste my time. And why do I call it a deposit? Is because not today, for the next 12 months, I'm going to send you, of course, you're going to get access to my program, my course, everything today. And you're going to get, but if you invest in one property in the next 12 months, I'll give your entire deposit back to you. I'll write your check back. So, and of course, you get to keep everything that you have. And some of you on the call today, you're going to get your $997 back before your credit card bill comes to you. Because December 1st is going to be the next list. So you invest in December, and I'm going to have to write you a check back. So you can use my check to pay off the credit card. And end of story. So you have to take action. You know, you got to do something. I'm providing this for you. So it's in writing. So it's one-time deposit of $997, and you get the list every month for the next 12 months. You get my course. You get a one-on-one strategy session. You bring your spouse. You know, what more do you want? I'm giving you. So again, the irresistible offer is this. So you one-time deposit, you invest in one property in the next 12 months, and you get 100% refund, and you get to come to my seminar for free as part of this $997 deposit. So, and let me show you that. You go to VIPRElist.com. That's where you go, and VIP list, and you'll see Bank REO program. And if you want to scroll down, you'll see all the recent testimonials from students that have attended the program and are in the program. So I have enough testimonials to sing about. So just click on the registration, and then it'll take you to the page, and you'll see it's a one-time Bank REO program, and it says right there that you can buy these properties, and all the 8-module program, live session, my live seminar, bring spouse, list all of those things. It's listed in writing that I'm going to give you all of your money back. And when you come to the seminar, you'll see people in the seminar will raise their hand that have gotten their money back for doing that. So just right here, you do that, and all of that. The goal is I want to make money with you, not from you. And so that, and all I'm looking for are people who are serious. That you can put it on a credit card, $997, and then next month find a joint venture partner with you. And I'm going to show you now. Those of you on the call, if you want to, and especially if you live, you know, I don't care where you live. If you want to, I have this guy called me from Massachusetts, and so what I did, he goes, you know what? Prove it to me. So he had still, you know, people are skeptical. So I said, this is what I'll do. Because December, because this is November 18th and 19th, right? So the list doesn't come until December 1st. So I said, this is what I'll do. If you're not ready to plunk down $997 right now as a deposit, because which is yours, you're going to get it back, and whatever reason you don't have it, so I'm going to give you an introductory offer. For $97, you can come to my 2-day event in November 18th and 19th. And by the way, and then I'm going to, of course, I'm going to go through the whole list again. I'm going to show you all the other 5 Fs, because I have 2 days with you. And Saturdays from 9 to 6, Fridays from 2 to 6. On 2 to 7 on Friday. And by the way, very lucky for you that this particular event is in Tampa. That Friday evening is my annual Christmas party. So right after the seminar, those of you who want, you'll come over to my place. This is 5 minutes from the hotel, and you're going to meet some pretty cool people, and we're going to have a networking party also and Christmas party that evening. And so go so where do you go? You go to Tampa.bestrealestateseminar.com. Tampa.bestrealestateseminar.com, and you'll see that for the seminar, I provided an introductory offer of $97, so you can come. And by the way, that should you at that point decide to invest in, hey, now I want to get the list, then just I will apply the $97 towards your deposit. And I am this much confident that you don't even have to spend the 2 days, just Friday. If you spend the Friday with me, if I haven't given you 10 times the value of your $97, I will not only give you the $97 back to you, refund you, I'll give you an extra $97, literally for trusting me enough to give me a chance. So you'll double. What is the worst thing that can happen? You double your money. So you don't get that offer every day. I mean, you've heard about money back guarantee and stuff, people do. I'm not giving you money back guarantee. I'm saying double your money. Because you don't know me, so I'll give you an introductory offer. So once again, so if you want to go to the introductory offer, then if you're ready to get the program, and the advantage is if you get it, you're going to have access to, for the $97, you don't get my program or anything else because you want to wait. Let's say, so what I'm doing is, so you go to www.tampa.bestrealestageseminar.com. That's where you go, and you get the introductory rate of $97 to come to my 2-day live event, and then again you have the unconditional, no questions asked, money back, double your money back guarantee. And should you decide at that point to invest into the, hey, get my whole program for $997, I'll apply your $97 towards it, so that you will deduct it for it. So I don't know any way to make it better. My philosophy always has been that take the best and leave the rest. Whatever I shared with you, you don't have to agree with me on everything that I've shared. Then whatever has resonated with you, find out what are your top 3 nuggets that I've shared with you. Write those down. And then below that, write down what are your action steps. Because without action steps, they're just notes. What are you going to act on? Hopefully your first action is to go either to viprelist.com or go to the tampa.bestrealestageseminar.com, whichever resonates with you, because you're going to get your money back either way.
You said it's a $5,000 value.
Yes, because I've given you my
So you're offering a $997 deposit, but it's a $5,000 value.
Yes.
And if you make a deal,
and I get your $1,000 back.
What? And there was an offer. There was a deal in at $340.
Yes.
So you pay $340 for that, and then you're going to get that. But technically, it's $10,000, $11,000
Yes.
because you said bring your spouse.
Bring your spouse.
For free.
Yeah.
Now you're a team.
Yeah.
So you get a second person for free.
You review your notes. Make sure you review your notes in 20 to 48 hours. So again, I'm telling you that it's for only $997 total investment for you today. You need to invest in yourself. And there's not very many investments that you're guaranteed to get back. The only condition is you act, you take action. So you go to, if you have any questions, you can call our office or send an email at support@themonycircleinc.com. So thank you for the privilege again for honoring us. So here's again, I'm going to leave you with that website right here. Go to tampa.bestrealestageseminar.com and or go to viprelist.com. I went to both of those sites, so you know what it looks like also. And for most importantly, I sincerely hope that I'll get to meet you in person right now. Let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up for Q&A. And I know that, looks like one person is already coming. Wow. I know that one guy from Boston is coming. Hey, Sabrina, can you hear me?
Yes, hello, Roger.
How are you?
I'm great. I am so excited. Can I just say, wow, really, we are in for a treat here. And I feel so lucky that I live in Miami. So who wants to drive with me, really? But my name is for those that don't know me, and I am a real estate investor. I'm a business consultant and a mother of 3 very active boys. And really, I just want to share a quick little nugget here, and that comes from Richard Branson. And he said that when you're offered an amazing opportunity, first say yes and then figure out the how later. And so that has become kind of like the way I live my life, really my philosophy and how I live my life. And I find this to be an amazing opportunity. I really have not seen anything like this out there. I am so impressed with how you've gotten the system to work so well for all of us to make money together. So I'm very excited to go there. I have met Roger. I feel privileged to say that I have met Roger personally. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to come up and learn some more. I've been in real estate investing for quite a few years. And when I first began, I made all the mistakes that I would say the beginners do, right? I bought the best house in the worst neighborhood. And I thought it was such a great deal, and there it was, right? But I've been at it for a little while now, and I know quite a bit, but I know that I'm curious, I'm open to learn more, and also to get access to that list for sure. That sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so my mission now is to basically drive up there. I'm coming from Miami, and I would love to have some people that are here also tag along with me. I'm excited for the learning opportunity, excited for the deals opportunity and the Christmas party too. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. and also, when I told you that 2 things that I'm going to be sharing next weekend is, one, I'm going to be my new technology platform. I showed you the Excel spreadsheet so that at least you have it. But starting in December, you're not going to get the Excel spreadsheet. You're going to have a completely my new technology platform that's going to totally blow you away. And those of you, and yes, I am going to charge, and it's worth every penny once you see it. But those of you that come to the seminar, I'll get you basic version for free, that you can do all the things for that technology. And whether you buy 1 house a year or you buy 1,000 houses a year, that system will keep track of everything in one place. And that it is this, I'll introduce my tech team, that 4 years in development in this technology platform. There's nothing like this that exists in the industry, period. So that's going to be launched. Second, Dustin and I are here because of a very special project, and because one of the best ways to learn anything is through playing games. And gamification is a big thing. So all these things that I'm teaching, I've never put it in a game format. Dustin is a gamer. And so he has created, I have sent him all my videos and my whole concept, and he's created the cash flow game, a cash flow game similar to Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game, which is the most popular game in real estate investing. And I have seen that game, played that game, so this is going to be better than that. So we're creating that game, and we'll probably not finish it, but we're going to do the mock-up. Who knows, maybe at the party, Christmas party, we're going to have to set up a board game also for those of you who want to take it for a spin and a test run of our board game. So I want to make it fun, because my motto is, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing it. So this is just a really, and I promise you that the things that I'm working on to make things better for my students, I am relentless to find out what is one more thing I can get to make it easier for my students for doing that. So thank you again for the privilege of sharing this information with you. There is a lot more where it came from, and when I have 2 days with you, I can go deeper into all of these things and how you can get these modules and everything else for your real estate. And also, I'm going to show you how to get funding. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have my private lender, my hard money lender, be at the program with me. So if you're listening to this now or later, that if you have your own deals, you don't even have to get deals from me. If you have, and you can apply for funding right there, and they will underwrite it and tell you yes or no, or what. And if they tell you no, you should not do that deal, because that means there's this whole saying that if money is not chasing you, you don't have a deal. If you have a deal, money will chase you. There'll be hard money lenders fighting to get you the deal for doing it. So one more time, God bless, Godspeed, and I hope to see you next Friday and Saturday, November 18th and 19th, and hopefully tonight, if it's too late for you, once the offered orders come in, we will also turn on my system will give you access to the course right now, so that in the next week or so you can start listening to the Success Acceleration online program to set your mindset correctly. And mindset is the most important thing for doing it. I hope our paths will cross soon. Until then, again, wishing you much success. Good night. Thank you, Sabrina, for your comment. And you know what? I one time went from Tampa to Miami for a seminar, and there were so many of us going from here, I took an RV. So we had so much fun getting there, coming back. So if you are listening, if you live anywhere in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, get with Sabrina, or send an email to support@the-winner's circle. Sabrina, how can they contact you?
Yeah, so they can reach me via my cell phone. It's 949-705-8787. Or they can email me at gagnonsabrina@gmail.com. And I'll spell that. So it's G as in Google, A as in Apple, G as in Google, N as in Nancy, O as in Oliver, N as in Nancy, Sabrina, Sabrina @gmail.com. Yeah, so go ahead, write me an email.
Give us your phone number one more time. Give us the phone number one more time.
Yeah, so the phone number is 949-705-8787. Yeah, shoot me a text and we can get it coordinated, but I look forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome to learn. I've worked with Michael E. Gerber before. He is the king of turning systems and turnkey systems. And I've really, like I said before, I have not seen anything like that is just plug and play and it's just very easy. I do not want to reinvent the wheel, so I'm excited to just plug and play.
Awesome. Wonderful. So good night, everyone. And if you're listening to this on a replay, if you have any questions, just email to support or call the phone number, and we will get back to you. All the best.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.